Hello and welcome to our video on setting up your Xelion desktop application. Firstly, when you install the application, you'll be greeted with a blank dashboard. As default, there will be two widgets on the dashboard. What I mean by widgets is two spaces where you can put certain things on your screen that are easily accessible. Says you can change this layout, which we will cover in a later stage, to have more than two widgets. So let's jump into setting up your widgets. If you click the plus sign, then be greeted with options of what you can have on your screen. The most common option that people will have is presence. Presence will allow you to have all your internal users, which can be broken down by department if requested. And this will show you their current status, where green is available, red is not, black is in an appointment, and yellow is out of office. When we hover over the users, you will get three options where you can call them, instant message them, or also view their calendar if they have synced with their Microsoft 365. Once we have put the presence in place, we then have four options above the widget. Pin, which we highly recommend you use. This will ensure that when you pin this widget, when you close the application or shut your machine down, it will always remember the layout that you have chosen. Plus will replace the widget with something else. The maximize will make it bigger, and the X will shut the widget down completely and you'll have to select something else in its place. So now we have selected presence, we're going to jump across to the right-hand widget and select something else. The other basic widget that people will use is Start Communication. Start Communication will just put a dial pad and it will also show you your most frequent dialed people. From here, we can then just search for individuals or type in numbers and that will bring up and we can select call. If we just want to type a phone number in, we can just start typing. And if we've called that person before, it will bring them up. If it doesn't, just select call and that will initiate the call to that person. And again, we may choose to pin that widget so we always have a dial pad permanently on our screen. If you wish to have more than two widgets, if you click Settings, which you can access by selecting the three dots, and then Personalization, you'll then be greeted with a grid layout option. Select grid layout, and this will give you multiple different layouts that you can have on your dashboard. In this case, I'm going to select the most common, which is three widgets. And what you can now see is we now have three options on our dashboard. And what you may wish to have is statistics. And again, we can pin that. So all of a sudden, you have now got more information on your default dashboard. Everything is pinned, so that will always remember what we have. So that's our dashboard now set up. What we now wish to look at is down the left-hand side, our communications. Tab will be all your own personal communications. So if somebody has called your extension, or they've called your DDI, or you have just called someone yourself personally, all these calls will be logged against yourself. If you're a manager or you have access to any ring groups or hunt groups, you will also see them sitting here. In this case, I can look after William. And if I click the three little dots and click more, I can also then see any groups that I'm part of as well. And if I select that group, we will now see calls within that group as well. If I want to dig into my communication, I can see this phone number here at the top. If I click on it, that will open up all the recent communication that I've had with this telephone number. I can click more and that will load any further call history. If I want to see if any of my colleagues spoke with this individual, I can click on the Me button, select any of my colleagues, and that will then show me if that individual has had communication with that phone number. Calls are recorded. You can quickly hit the play button.
Can't take your call right now.
And that will then let you hear back that call right away. Once we close that down, if I go back over and hover over it, I can quickly call them back. Or if I want to add them to our contact directory, I just click on the plus sign and we can add them directly to our contacts. What's very important to remember, when we add that contact, it will be a global contact and will appear on all our other members of staff's handsets and applications as well. If on the left-hand side we have a individual that is part of our own business and we have spoke with, in this case, if I click on Kevin, see not only do I have any phone calls with him, but also any instant messages or any documents that we have shared. And from here, we can send any messages, and this will act like WhatsApp. Now see it's got one grey tick. If I Kevin back up again, once Kevin has received this, it will say two grey ticks, and once he has read that, it will go dark black like so. In terms of making a phone call, you can simply type the number in here. If we opt not to have a start communications widget, we can just select the blue button and that will open up a dial pad within the application as well. We can click on the numbers, or we can type the number in with our keyboard at the top of the screen and also then make the call directly from there as well. Thank you for watching, and please check in for any future videos.